This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Dude. All right, Brian Flores addressed the meteors. We got a lot of questions, a lot of concerns as we're going into this Jet Week. What concerns is there, really? Let's just kick Adam Gase's ass is all that we need. All right, let's go. Let's hear from...
Wait a minute. You don't want to do that too bad. You don't want him to fire him on Sunday evening or Monday morning, right?
It's the inevitable. You know, maybe I do want him to fire him because...
It'd be for us to be the cause that we've ended his career.
Yeah, and then on top of all of that, they get somebody in that's a little bit more of a coach, and they win 2 or 3 games and ruin their opportunity at Trevor Lawrence. So that's kind of what I want to see. If they keep Gase, we might secure 0-16. Even though Trevor, it doesn't matter what quarterback goes there. You're dead in the water with those guys. All right, let's hear from Brian Flores. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you pretty much a question about the rushing attack and how you would evaluate it going into Game 6. Matt, Miles, and Jordan, the backs are collectively averaging 2.8 yards per carry. Obviously, that can't satisfy you, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, it's like everything else. I mean, we got to improve running game, play action, red zone, 2-minute. We're working on it on a daily basis. Those guys are working hard to, along with the offensive line and obviously the fullbacks and tight ends, of getting the blocking where we need it and running it better. So, but these guys are working hard. I think we've ran it effectively in some instances, but we can be better overall. But that's the case in really a lot of areas, offensively, defensively, in the kicking game. And these guys are working to get better and improve. And thankfully, we get another opportunity to try to go out there and improve it on Sunday.
Josh.
Hi, Flo. Good morning. When we were in Santa Clara, I don't recall hearing anything in the press box about Kyle Van Noy. Could you maybe explain what happened? Was it something that flared up after? And if he does have an absence, how that affects your defense moving forward?
Well, yeah, Kyle's got a little bit of a groin. I think it's something that happened. I would say after. These guys, they fight through some things throughout the game, which he obviously did. But he's doing everything he can to get back out, on the field to practice from a rehab standpoint, from a treatment standpoint. He's a tough guy. Obviously, a focal part, a big part to the defense and this team. I shouldn't say just the defense from a leadership standpoint. So he's doing everything he can to get back. And hopefully we see him today. Look, obviously, when somebody has is nicked up, you go through the contingency plans, but we do that every week. So we've got a plan if we had to limit his snaps, but that's the case for every position. So I think that happens across the league. You got to have a backup plan for everything, especially in this climate. So, but Kyle's a tough guy. We'll see. Hopefully he's out there today.
Cam?
Hey, good morning, Flo. I guess somebody asked you about Le'Veon Bell yesterday and I guess defending him with the Jets. Obviously now he's a free agent. I wanted to ask if you guys are going to be trying to go after him, maybe to add to your team.
First, Kim, let me say I forgot to say this to you a few weeks ago. Congrats on the baby.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Congrats to you. You've been looking a little sluggish, so I assume, I understand now why.
Yeah,
so,
I just got done a feeding and a changing, so I'm not getting much sleep. So
good.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate your sluggishness. It's no problem. No problem on my end. The questions are still very good. All right, but as far as Le'Veon, that's really more of a question for Chris. look, my focus right now is just on the Jets and the players they have on their team now. I mean, I've said this before. He's a very good player. You know, as a personnel staff, as an organization, we look at you know, anyone who is available that, you know, could help our team. But you know, obviously, all conversations stay internal, and you know, quite honestly, my focus has been on preparation for this week. It's really more of a question for Chris and the personnel staff. But yeah, he's a good player. But you know, our focus is on this week, on the Jets, and our preparation for the players on the Jets this week.
All right, so now answering the Le'Veon Bell question, the follow-up to it. Listen, he's not dissing the player at all. And I know he's kind of leaving it to Chris Greer and all of that stuff, but let's call it like we see it here. That tells me there's some interest. And you saw the beginning of this press conference where Omar Kelly was like, well, you know, you're averaging like 3 yards a game. You can't be happy with that, which is like, you think, Omar? But yeah, you know, and Omar was right for asking the question because they struggle running the ball. I don't really have a problem with that, to be honest with you, because I can't expect a line so young and so new to each other to all of a sudden they're going to be perfect in pass blocking and run blocking. They've done a good enough job for me at pass blocking that I know that they've got to work on their run blocking. So I understand all of that. But when describing the player, having said everything that, oh, it's probably a question better suited for Greer or whatever, and I'm focused on the Jets right now and all of that, and then he still says he's a good player, by him making a commitment, just an opinion, that tells me that there's some legit interest from the Dolphins in Le'Veon Bell. And I like it. I like it, man. Le'Veon, look, he has a home here in South Florida. We're a no-tax state, and he'll get to play the Jets one time. And if he signs a 2-year deal, which you know, Chris Greer will sign him to a 2-year deal. I think I saw somewhere where, you know, somebody was worried about the money and the cap, and stop worrying about that. They can overcome it, and they'll figure it out if they have to. But that's not such a big priority right now. And the kind of money you'll be giving him will not be cap crippling. That's the thing that I would disagree with anybody that thinks this would be crippling. All right, Bill, continue.
Hi, Brian. I have no excuse for looking sluggish this morning. I'm sorry. Regarding kickers, you were with an organization that was very blessed to have Vinatieri and Gostkowski, very dependable. Now you come here, you have Jason Sanders. I wonder if it might be easy for people to overlook the importance of kickers and until you don't have one, maybe. So I'm wondering, how much better do you sleep at night knowing you have a guy who can depend on?
Look, I think, I started in the kicking game. You know, that's where I got my break in coaching. So, you know, I know and understand how important those guys at those positions are, whether it's kicker, punter, long snapper, returners, ball security, or things of that nature. To have a guy who's dependable, a guy who you know, he's going to do everything he can possible to make sure that he puts himself in the best position to, you know, make a great kick, make the kick that we need, make the punt that we need, give us the snap that we need. And really, you want that at all positions. But, you know, no one really thinks about those specialists until, you know, we're down to the wire. We need the kick. So, you know, Jason's done a great job. Again, I think it's important that he continues. It's important to him that he continues to improve and get better and continue with his consistency. That's been, you know, good thus far. And we need to just, you know, keep going in this direction. So yes, I'm very pleased with where he is and the job he's done. Really on, you know, on obviously field goals, but also kickoffs. He's done a good job from that standpoint. And just his every day, his attitude and his work ethic on a day-to-day basis. He's really done a good job, really, since I've been here.
Adam?
I couldn't let you go without another COVID question. The Falcons had four positives today, it sounded like. Do you think we're getting to the point now where the league would be best served just to put in a second bye to give themselves more flexibility going forward? And are you expecting to have to play 18 weeks this year because of what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, literally, I just heard about that right before I got on here about the Falcons. I mean, it's unfortunate. I think a lot of teams are trying to do everything they can, to limit the spread of this virus. Unfortunately, it's hit a couple teams. Look, we're just going to do. We're going to control what we can control. We're going to just kind of follow the lead of the league. And look, if they add a bye, I can have an opinion on it, but at the end of the day, I'm really just going to focus my energy on our team. And if they make a schedule change like we've already dealt with, then we'll just, do what needs to be done so that we can try to, play games and play a season. So whatever that means, that's an 18th week. If that's another bye, if that's more changes to the schedule, then that's what we do. But I think at the end of the day, every one of us that are part of this league, we just need to continue to try to be responsible, make good decisions, wear the mask, social distance, wear the tracers, so we can, at least put ourselves in position to play games and play this year.
Joe?
Good morning, Flo. On Raekwon Davis, how much is capable of do you believe you've seen so far?
You kind of cut out a little bit right before capable.
How much have you seen relative to what he's capable of?
Yeah, Raekwon, he's very. I think he's got a lot of talent. He's big, he's strong, he's athletic, but he's young. He's a young player still learning how to play in this league against a lot of good players, and he's still trying to find his way and find his niche, his role within the scheme. And I think as a staff, we're trying to put him in good positions, in the best positions to do what he does well. So he's big, he's athletic, and he's tough and he cares. So I think with the injury to Gachao, he should get a few more opportunities along with some other guys, and hopefully he takes advantage of those opportunities. But yeah, there's talent here. We just gotta get them to play with more consistency, which is the case for all young players.
Safid?
Hey, Coach. Good morning. I want to ask when the other teams in the league are going through their COVID situations, are you guys kind of just reaching out, seeing what's going wrong? What are some things that maybe you guys could do to continue to be on the right track of this, as you guys have been so far?
I mean, we're always trying to find different ways to get better. I think Kyle and our medical staff, Kyle Johnston, he's our head trainer, our medical staff, they're constantly trying to, what can we do better? From a meeting standpoint, from a walkthrough standpoint, from a practice standpoint. So, yes, we're trying to find ways to, mitigate the risks really on a daily basis. So I think those guys have done a good job of that, and they're getting the compliance from the players, coaches, everybody's involved here. So, yeah, I mean, it's important to all of us that we keep, first and foremost, it's not about the games, it's about keeping everyone here safe and healthy. I think that's where we always start. That's where my meetings always start. This isn't about playing, 18 football or whatever, finishing the season. That's important, but what's more important is, the health and safety of everyone in this building. And then, that also applies to all their families also, as we know how this virus spreads. So keeping everyone safe, keeps your family safe. And then, another byproduct of that is we get to play. So, yeah, we're always trying to look for different ways to help or to get better But we also know that, we're not exempt, and we can do everything right, and we could pop a positive test, and we just got to try to isolate whoever that is or whenever that shows up, and we want to be able to trace it, and we want to be able to say we're all wearing masks, and hopefully continue to go about our daily routine and daily business.
There, when he's talking about this, and it's the worst, and it's so embarrassing about this. And this is not a Dolphin thing. This is not a Brian Flores thing. This is not an Alabama thing. This isn't a Colorado Rapids thing. For those of you who don't know, that MLS team lost 3 more games this week. They've lost 7 so far. Their season is over, actually. But whatever. It's just amazing how stupid we are in this country. It just put on a mask. That way we can, mitigate it. We can stop the spread of it. We can slow it drastically down. We all know that the masks aren't perfect, but Lord knows they protect you. They're going to protect you to a certain extent. Nothing's perfect. I get all of that. But it's funny how this is all about just following simple rules. They're not that difficult. They're not really asking that much. People that think they're losing their rights, it's stupid, bro. And meanwhile, we're watching Cristiano Ronaldo got it. I mean, it's just biggest coach in college football gets it. The biggest athlete in the world gets it. Anybody can get this thing. But you know what also helps you getting this thing? Not respecting it. And downplaying it and not taking it serious and walking around without your mask and talking to people, shaking hands, and whatever it is that you do that you put yourself in trouble with a lot of stupid things. I have now been able to kind of program myself. It took me a while, obviously, but it's like now I'm conscious of it all. I've been like that for a little bit, but it takes you a while to forget to grab the handle of any door with your hand. Use a rag, use a shirt, use whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's like, and I got to remember now whenever I go into restaurants to take a pen just in case I got to sign the ticket. That's it. Because if not, then I got to say, oh, give me a minute, I got to go to my car. And I literally go to my car to get a pen to then sign the receipt. That's where we're at. But it's pretty simple to stay away from all of this. Not that I want to give them a pass. Not that I want to say, it's not as bad as you make it out to be. But when it comes to college kids and high school kids, I almost feel like it's a rite of passage. I just don't expect a young kid to be that anal about not wanting to be touched or their things touched or anything like that. But it's weird. All of this, all these protocols, all of it, it's just following a couple simple rules. It's not the end of the world, dude. Bill and I, every Friday, we're outside at Craig's Inn. We're luckily here on Thursdays, we're inside always. And we're by ourselves because it's a ginormous place. The roof is 20 feet tall, so you're not really going to run into a lot of issues. But still, man, and we're always out in the heat. So it's not the end of the world. Put on our mask in the heat. All right, 786-322-1105. Go ahead. Keep going with the coach.
My final question will go to Cameron.
Hey, Flo, if I could take a little bit of a detour. I don't know how big of a boxing fan you are, but there's a match going on Saturday. And one of the fighters is Teofimo Lopez. He's from Brooklyn. He's Honduran. So I was curious if you had any knowledge of him or if he was in your rooting interest.
Yeah, a Brooklyn guy from Honduras. Yeah, I know exactly who he is. Good fighter. Look, I'm not really big into boxing, but aside from Mike Tyson being right from the neighborhood I grew up in, I was always a big fan of his. But yeah, I know a little bit, but a Brooklyn guy from Honduras. Yeah, I'm rooting for him, no matter what's going on.
There you go. That's the head coach. Little boxing question and everything. You got to love that.